Today we have an unboxing video of 5 Minute Dungeon by Wiggles 3D. Hi, I'm Kevin Baker, and you're watching Shangri-La, my YouTube channel for tabletop board games, birding, and other educational videos. Please like and subscribe. This video is not sponsored by Wiggles 3D. It's sponsored by the owner who actually bought this game, my good friend Michael Perry of Roofs Done Right. If you need a new roof or a roof repaired in Palm Beach or Martin County, please give Roofs Done Right a call and tell them that Shangri-La sent you. Okay, so the next FlamingoCon, some exciting news. We have expanded to Broward County, Florida. So we're not just going to be a solely Palm Beach County board game convention. So we will now have the next FlamingoCon will be May 17th, coming up very soon. It will be at the Johnny L. Tigner Community Center in Deerfield Beach, Florida. They'll have D&D, Warhammer, and my favorite, Blood on the Clock Tower. So come on down for a full day of board gaming in Deerfield Beach. And then soon after that, June 7th, we'll have a separate event for FlamingoCon number 29, which will be at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach, Florida. So that's one of our favorite locations because we can have a huge room full of people. So if you've got a board game that you've been dying to play and want to find a group of people to play with you, you come down, you set up your board game, you put up the sign on that we have that says players wanted. People will come over and join you for your board game. So learn it and be ready to teach it. And if you're checking out a board game from one of the many games that we have in our board game library, you can put up a sign that says teacher wanted, and we will come over and teach you that board game. So it's a great way to try out board games before you buy them. So I can't wait to dig into Wiggles 3D 5-Minute Dungeon and check this out. I mean, if you are a board game designer and want your board game given away as a play to win at FlamingoCon, please reach out. Okay, let's check out 5-Minute Dungeon. So, got some really nice artwork. This guy is pretty reminiscent of one of the minions in Mechs vs. Minions. So that's kind of interesting. And on the back, it says, the most fun you can have in 5 minutes. We'll see about that. Okay, you pick your hero. Are you a barbarian, a wizard, a thief? Each of the 10 heroes has a unique ability to help your team. You battle it out. You defeat monsters and obstacles by playing cards with matching symbols. There are no turns, so everyone battles together. I like a good cooperative game. Okay, then you beat the boss. You have only 5 minutes to defeat one of the 6 bosses to advance to the next level of the dungeon. But beware, the further you go, the harder it gets. All in 5 minutes. Okay, contents. English cards only. So this is a good way to practice your English if you're a speaker of other languages. And the contents: 200 player cards, 55 dungeon cards, 20 challenge cards, 3 double-sided boss mats, 5 double-sided hero mats, and a set of instructions. There is a downloadable app for you to use, which is dedicated to this game. Interesting. Let's see what we have on the inside. Slides off easy enough. And we've got a nice box insert. And we've got player mats, boss mats. So, the Dungeon Master final form. This is the final boss. Okay. That is on the back of boss number 5, the Dungeon Master. So you can see it takes 50 cards of all of these symbols in order to defeat the final boss. Only 40 cards to defeat boss number 5. 35 cards to defeat boss number 4. 30 cards for boss number 3. Some very nice artwork. Looks like a snake with multi-heads. That's kind of neat. Although I wouldn't want to meet up with him. The Grim Reaper, boss number 2, 25 cards. Which starts off with boss number 1, the Baby Barbarian. Aww. Just 20 cards to defeat the Baby Barbarian. As for player cards, you can play as the Gladiators, the Barbarians, the Rangers, the the Huntress. We have a Thief and a Ninja. Wouldn't want to be a ninja. We got a Valkyrie and then a Paladin and a very nice looking Wizard and a Sorceress. Okay. So it's a rule book. Okay. Only 22 pages long, but they're small pages. And then lots and lots of decks of cards. So we have all of those. And a nice box insert. I generally baggie all of my different components so that when boxes turn upside down, none of the components fall out. But okay, so now it's time for me to read the rules, learn the game, and I'll be back in a minute or two to explain what I found out. Okay, I've read through the rules and it looks pretty straightforward. I've selected 3 of the 5 heroes potentially to use in this adventure, and they're going to try to attempt to defeat the Baby Barbarian. Now with the Baby Barbarian, that's boss number 1, you select 20 cards from the Dungeon Door deck. So that's that's this deck here. In the Door deck, there are monsters, obstacles, and persons. Okay, and so those are the 3 things that are behind the doors. You also shuffle in 2 of the challenge type cards. So they are either events or the mini boss. That's 2 of the challenge per player. So I shuffled in 6 challenge cards into the deck. And what happens next is in a 3-person game, each person shuffles their cards, the cards that match their boards, and deals themselves a hand of 4 cards. If this were a 2-player game, they would deal a hand of 5 cards, and they would use 2 decks because there wouldn't be enough cards to defeat the bosses if it was just 1 deck. In a 4 or 5-player game, its hand size is 3 cards. Now, when you play a card using your special ability, so each hero has a special ability. So a ninja can vault, so they can discard 3 cards to defeat an obstacle. Okay, so when you use your special ability, your cards go face up in your discard pile. And so the Barbarian has a special ability to discard 3 cards and defeat a monster. And then a Ranger has a special ability to discard 3 cards into their discard pile face up and defeat a person. Now, events and mini bosses do not count as monsters, obstacles, or persons. So therefore, these special abilities cannot be used to defeat these challenges. Now, when we turn over one of the door cards, we would start the timer clock. You have 5 minutes to defeat all of the doors, all of the challenges, and the baby barbarian boss number 1. Now, you can take your cards from your hand and you're going to try to use them to defeat the doors. When you do, you put them into the center of the table. Now, those cards, once they're laid down in the center, do not come back. Once that door is defeated, they get swept away and they are out for that entire round. Cards that you play into your discard pile, because maybe an event asks you to do that, then those cards that go into your discard pile are potentially recoverable with special abilities. Now, in your decks, each of the different heroes has the different kinds of abilities: jump, arrows, swords, scrolls, and shields. As well as they have cards that have the black outline, and those have other special ability cards. So you can have a ninja that uses the sprint card to defeat an obstacle. The ranger has wild cards that can be used as any resource. That's very helpful. Okay, now let's give it a try and we'll see how we do. Now, if all players run out of cards, then you lose. If your 5 minutes run out and you run out of time, you also lose. If you defeat all the doors and the boss, then you win the game. That's pretty straightforward. And now let's start the clock. Here we go. Door number 1. It's an obstacle, the surprise dodgeball tournament. Okay, so we need a jump, and an arrow. So we're gonna go jump, and arrow. Okay, and this gets swept away. Then the next one comes out. It is a monster. It's adorable slime. Okay, so the heroes draw back up immediately after they play any card. So in this case, they need, well, the ninja is going to just use the special ability to, nope, that's a monster. That's not going to work. Now let's use 1 arrow and 1 wild card. Okay, that one is defeated. Then the next one we have is 1 guy, 2 bows, 2 shields, and a sword.
When playing resource cards to defeat dungeon doors, you can play extra cards into the center of the table that are not needed in order to find the resources you do need. However, if you do this, you may run out of cards before getting to the boss. You're not allowed to play unnecessary cards onto the boss, so some strategies involve dumping extra cards onto the last door before the boss. You're also not allowed to discard cards from your hand to your own discard pile unless you're using your special ability or an event instructs you to do so. So when picking characters to play, be sure at least one player selects a character with the power to draw more cards to avoid getting stuck with the wrong resources.
Now, the question is, what do we have left? Okay, donation, give your hand to another player. That's fine. So we've got 2 swords. We have no arrows left. And we've got a jump And we lose. It was probably more than 5 minutes also. So that is a playthrough of 5 Minute Dungeon. Hopefully you'll do better than I did. Okay, hope to see you all at the next FlamingoCon. Be well.